almost, right? Now, okay, so that would be my first target if it breaks here. Okay, now let's look downwards. What is the support that I can find? I want to define my stop loss also. So if it goes down, okay, there is a lot of congestion here in this place, so it is bound to find some kind of a support here in this place. Okay, here, but this is too deep a stop loss. What is the level here? 35,285, and right now it is 36,334, right? So that is too deep a stop loss. I don't want to take that much. Maybe we can come up to here in this small level of congestion here, right? We could take that. That is approximately 36,000. So 300 points. Still, it is 300 points. Stop loss here. And this one here is, what is this level? 37,423. Yeah. Oh, that's almost 1,000 points, right? Yeah. So what are we seeing? I hope you understand what I'm saying. This level here seems to be a good level of resistance, and this point I want to take a very nearby support because I want to minimize my stop loss. I don't want to keep a very deep stop loss, right? If I want to take this trade, so I'm keeping a stop loss here around 36,000. The current market price is 36,334. How do I keep that stop loss? I keep this because I find this congestion over here, this congestion, right? It has moved in that space for quite a bit of time. So if it breaks that, it is likely to go down further. So that is my stop loss. So that is around 300 points. And the first target that I see here is around 37,423, right? Almost 1,000 points. So I have a 300 point stop loss and I have a 1,000 point target. 1,000 point target, 300 point stop loss. So I have a 1:3 risk reward ratio, right? Now this is on a daily time frame. This is on a daily time frame. So this could go on for 3-4 days, or at least 3-4 days, maybe, to reach this target. So I have to be prepared to take that kind of a risk. I have to be prepared to hold till 3-4 days at least, right? And if it goes down, now this is if it breaks this place, right? If it breaks today's high, that is when the trade is triggered. And that is when, if it breaks, because it is standing here at a resistance, if it breaks this resistance, only then it can be expected to move to this level. And if it breaks the line that is below, then it could go downward. So that is my stop loss, right? So a 300 point stop loss, a 1,000 point target, that is approximately 1:3 risk reward ratio, seems to be a good trade. Okay, this is how you kind of define your targets and stop losses, by drawing trend lines. Now I did a horizontal trend line here to find out the near in the near term. But if you want to look at it at the longer term also, you can take a trend line like this. Let's say, for instance, I want to take it from the low over here to here. Okay, right from the low, this is December 2021, and this is the low that it has made. I draw a trend line and connect the bottom, right? I connect the bottom that it has made in last month, right? So this is a major support. This is a major support. It should come, if it comes down, it should come here and stop. Okay, this is this is how we find out the long-term support and resistance, long term. And if you want to go a bit longer term on this, right? And of course, if you want to draw a trend line from the top here, right? So as we said, it is standing here at a resistance, and over a period of time, it could go till this place. So according to this is slightly longer, 37,800, 37,800. So 400 points further than the horizontal resistance that we saw, 37,800. Actually, it is the higher level here. You see it is connecting at these points also. Yeah, so okay, so those are the kind of things that you can help you to make out your targets and your stop losses. Of course, you can also go on the weekly time frame and take an even longer view. It's an even longer view here, but it works out the same in this case. It works because even 2000, I'm seeing this chart from 2016, it works out to be a very strong support here at this point. Right. Yes. I'll show you. So remind me of the stocks towards when we come to the chart analysis portion. So we'll see some stocks that you are suggesting. Meanwhile, let me just also complete this tools section so that we can complete this portion, and maybe we'll look at chart analysis also. So please remind me about the stocks that you said. Okay, so that is first, drawing trend lines, and second is your moving averages. Okay, some other tools that you can use is your moving averages. Let's see. Let's take a stock. Okay, let's take one stock that you have suggested, Sigachi. Okay, right now I have the 20 and the 10 EMA here in place. I'll take one more moving average. I'll take 50 exponential. Right. Now, this stock is finding resistance. It was finding resistance here at the 10 EMA. Okay, what we are saying here is that how you can use moving averages as dynamic trend lines. Okay, we were drawing trend lines before. What we saw was we were drawing trend lines to find stop losses and targets. Now you could use moving averages as dynamic trend lines. Okay, so this will tell you your stop loss and your target. Let's say, for instance, now we see that there is a congestion over the past few days, and it is hovering between the 20 EMA and the 10 EMA. But lately, in the last 2-3 days, it has crossed down the 10 EMA, which means it has broken a support over here. Okay, broken a support over here and came down to big red candles again. A lot of selling. As soon as it touches the 20 EMA, there is a lot of selling. Okay, and today again it has tried to recover, but it is still in that congestion mode. Okay, so now what we have to wait and watch is whether it breaks the 20 EMA on the upper side or not. Okay, if it breaks the 20 EMA on the upper side, you can assume a target here on the 50 EMA. What we are doing is that we are using moving averages as targets and stop losses. Okay, if it breaks the 20 EMA, you could take the 50 EMA as your target and the 20 EMA as your stop loss. Okay, what is the high today? 300. Where is the 50 EMA standing? 323. Right now, so if it breaks 300 and crosses above it, right? Let's say it goes to, let's say it takes out the high of the previous 2 days. What is the previous 2 days? 303.95. Let's say it goes to 305. Okay, breaks the 20 EMA, and you have space till 323, right? So you have got an 18-point target, and you keep your stop loss at 20 EMA, which is at 300 rupees, right? So you have got 18-point target, and you have got a 5-point stop loss, 3.6. So 1:3.6 is your risk reward ratio in case it manages to break 20 EMA decisively. Right? That's how you can use moving averages as dynamic trend lines. Now, I would want to use one more point over here, just to be sure, because we are talking about a stock that is trying to break the moving average, but it is not very successful in the last 2 or 3 days. What we want to see here is volume supporting, right? In the last 2 days, there has been slight increase in volume. Okay, in the last 2 days there has been a slight increase in volume. So if it very decisively means with a large amount of volume compared to the average of the last days, it manages to break this, then you can wait till target of 323 and keep a stop loss of the 20 EMA, right? ME Organic. Okay, let's see ME Organic. Yes, it has already had a break, and it has had a break with quite a good amount of volume. Right. So where is this going to go? Because it has already broken 50 EMA. At this point, it would have been a good entry point here when it broke 20 EMA, and 50 EMA would have been a good target also. Target is achieved already. Right. And today there is from the top, there has been a little bit of selling. So yeah, we have to wait and watch on that. Let's look at it on the weekly chart. There's not much history on this. Okay. Yeah, so this is like almost it has crossed the target, and there has been quite a bit of selling from the top here, right? So yeah, NBCC. This is not a strategy, Rajput. I am just telling you how you can use moving averages as your what to say, target and stop loss. NBCC is in a downtrend. You can see that it is from 20 EMA and from 10 EMA it has gone down. So yeah, wait till it goes up. Wait till it crosses this. The support is here. Where is the support? Let's use the horizontal trend line. This is the support. Yeah, because it has already broken this support. So the next support is here. Oh my God. Yeah. This is the next support. So it should come up to this level. Then probably if you want to buy, I won't buy because it is in a downtrend. But if you want to buy, then you could try to have a entry at this support level here, and then target 10 EMA as your as your target, or 10 or 20 EMA as your target. Welspun in India. Okay. Welspun. Yes. Welspun is going down, and a little bit of quite a bit of volumes also over there going down. So going down quite strongly. Don't catch a falling knife, they say. So better not to get into stocks which are going down so heavily. This is the congestion area here, this place. right? So there is and there's quite a bit of volume, so it's possible that it will come down further. Reliance and Adani Power, okay. So yeah, what is this? Reliance. Reliance has, as you see, Reliance has already moved. It was here at your 10-20 EMA, and this is a 50 EMA. 50 EMA is already crossed, and it has moved quite a bit. And it is also reaching its high over here, and this is a place of congestion here. Okay, let's look at it on a longer time frame. Okay. Okay, on a longer time frame, the high is 2,900, but I doubt it will go to that extent. It might come down here. In any case, any time that it has gone that high, selling has come fast and furious. So this has already moved. Let's look at Adani Power. This is already moved, sir. It is coming down now. Right? There's selling from the top, so it's coming down. Right? Now, unless it comes close to this average, any of these averages, it is not advisable to enter. It has to come some down. You will get a good risk reward ratio when you are close to the averages. Okay. Otherwise, at this place, if you enter, your stop loss will be at, what is this, 10 EMA. Here is at 146. It's quite far. Okay, that's not a good risk reward ratio. That's what we said earlier, that if you don't have a good risk reward ratio forming on the charts, better not to enter that trade. It's a very risky trade. Okay, so unless this comes down here close to the averages, there's no point entering in this trade. Right, we'll see some more stocks, but let me also show you the other, we want to cover some of the other tools also. So yeah, Bollinger Bands and pivot points are two other things. Okay, let's say take your stocks and we'll use Bollinger Band on that. KPIT. Okay, now what we are doing is that, instead of moving averages, we are using Bollinger Bands to find out support and resistance. Now, in the earlier swing trading video that we did this Bollinger Band, and I told in that session that this is actually the upper band and the lower band are standard deviation into 2, right? So that is 2 standard deviation, and this middle line over here is 20 SMA. Okay, 20 simple moving average. Okay, now see this KPIT Tech. It has gone up, come down, and taken support at the 20 SMA. So this is 20 SMA can be a good support line, and the lower Bollinger Band can also be a good support line. You're not able to hear me? Check. Are you able to hear me? Okay, good. Okay, so see, this 20 SMA is you can use this as a support, right? You can also use the lower Bollinger Band as a support. Last time we discussed about the lower Bollinger Band and Bollinger Band reversal. So in this case, KPIT Tech has taken support over here at 20 SMA, and it is moving upward. But there is not quite a bit of a space here. So it's already at 597. and the upper Bollinger Band is at 611. So there is not much space. So this risk reward ratio is not good at the moment, right? So no point in entering here. It could move up. It could move up to 611, but it's not a good risk reward ratio. Tata Power. Tata. Okay, look at this. So Tata Power is finding resistance at the upper Bollinger Band. What we are trying to do, we are trying to find support and resistance using Bollinger Band. The upper Bollinger Band is a resistance here. You could take support as lower Bollinger Band or 20 SMA. 20 SMA can also be a resistance if it is coming from the from below, from the lower Bollinger Band. In this case here in Tata Power, in a few days before, that is like 24th February, here it went down with a very smart reversal over here, and then went up here up to 20 SMA, found resistance here. So this was a good trade here, found resistance here, came down again, and then again very big candle, a very big smart reversal, closing above the 20 SMA, very strong closing above the 20 SMA. So this could have been a very good entry point here, keeping the 20 SMA as your stop loss. The stop loss has not hit till now. It came very close, but it didn't hit the stop loss 20 SMA, and then it has come up to here. This is your target achieved here at the upper Bollinger Band, and it is now finding resistance here at the upper Bollinger Band, and it's making a doji candle. If it breaks the low of the last 2 days, probably it is going to go down. If you are doing for the long range, then don't take daily time frame. Take a weekly or monthly time frame. Okay, if you're taking weekly time frame, if you're let's say if you want to hold a position, like it's a good stock, you want to hold a position for let's 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, take a weekly time frame. And then if you want to hold a position 2 years plus, okay, like you want to keep it as a legacy stock, to give it to your grandchildren, use the monthly time frame. And unless the monthly supports are broken, you don't exit that stock. Let's look at Tata Power. Let's look at how it looks at in the monthly time frame. Look at this. I just use the Bollinger Band on the monthly time frame. Look at this. This is 2020 April 2020. Of course, is the COVID crash, and then reversal, and then 20 SMA, a little bit of resistance here at the 20 SMA, but then decisively broke again, and it is not even stopping at the upper Bollinger Band. It is just going and going. At 224. So 224 is, depends on how long you want to hold it. 224 is somewhere here. Yeah, so you bought in the middle of a congestion. Right. You bought it in the middle of a congestion. So yeah, you can use these techniques to find out your stop loss, and depending on how long you want to hold, this is a weekly, what we are looking at right now is a weekly time frame, and this is a daily time frame, right? So starting from I think October till now, it is almost moving in the same range. Yeah, just up and down channel. It's moving in the same range. Swing trading, I personally like to have a weekly time frame because it helps you to cut out the noise, all the volatility in the market. If there is a choppy market, all the volatility, the weekly is a good time frame in which it cuts out the noise, and you are able to look at quite you're able to look at the trend and able to understand the trend very very easily. So that's my preference, but of course for everybody it's a different thing. But if I take a swing trade, I want to look at weekly, and I want to hold it for at least 1 month, right? Unless it takes my stop loss before that. So 1 month to 3 months on a weekly time frame. That's what I like to look at. Yeah, so if you want to keep it at the long term, you keep it for the long term, but you look at the charts. Don't don't think about like if you want to keep. Let's see, we are Tata Power. We are looking at, if you want to keep it at the long term, keep your 20 SMA 133 as your 20 SMA right now is at 134. You could keep it till it breaks that. If it breaks the 20 SMA, exit the stock. Yeah. So that you could do, but this is, if you're looking at the long term, you also understand that you're also looking at a very deep stop loss, right? And so you have to be mentally and financially prepared, right? Your capital also, you have to be prepared that you are ready to take that kind of a deep stop loss. Personally, I don't like to do that, but if you're willing to do that, you can do that, but you at least have a defined stop loss in your place. You look at the 20 SMA, that's what your stop loss. And the SMA is not a static figure, it's a dynamic figure. So if this goes up, the SMA will also go up. SMA means simple moving average. Yeah. EMA is exponential moving average. SMA, the Bollinger Band, the middle line is the 20 SMA, the 20 simple moving average. Right. Okay, let's do one final tool I will tell you, which is the pivot point. So we looked at the moving average, we looked at drawing trend lines, we looked at moving averages as dynamic trend lines, we looked at Bollinger Bands, and we'll look at one final tool for today, which is the pivot points. There you are. This little black line in the middle, right, it's your pivot point, and you can see this here. Your pivot is your black line in the middle, and on the top in all the red shades is resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3, and at the bottom all the green shades is support 1, support 2, and support 3. Now this is a ready-made thing, right? The pivot points, and not many people trade on pivot points. So you have your stock here very close to the pivot, right? What you want to do, when it comes very close to the pivot, you can take an entry here and keep pivot as your support, right? And move up, and your resistance 1 is your first target, right? You can do some partial profit booking here if you want, and keep resistance 2 as your second target if the stock moves up. If it goes down, book out and exit the stock. So, and if your stop loss is your pivot, so if your pivot, if it moves down from the pivot, exit the stock and book a loss. Similarly, you can use, if it goes down, then you can use support 1, support 2, and support 3 as your support points, and then whatever is the line that is above that is going to be your first target, second target, and third target, and so on, right? So this is a pretty much a ready-made support and resistance thing. So there are many people who do trade on pivot points also. See, Tirthankar, the stocks that you have mentioned, let me tell you what I do personally. Okay, I don't keep any stock which is fundamentally not strong. I will never allocate to my long-term portfolio. That's why I usually don't go outside the Nifty 200. Right? If I want to allocate capital to any stock that is long term means I want to hold it like 7 years, 10 years. Okay, that is long term. If I want to hold it that way, then I want to have a stock which is giving me 20% return on equity. Okay, so I want to also look at the fundamentals. So all of the stocks that you mentioned over here, please go to screener.in and look at the fundamentals of those stocks. If the fundamentals of those stocks are not doing good, there is no point in keeping it for the long term, right? You're saying IEX. I'll just explain you just one stock that you said, IEX. Okay, listen, look at this. What is the return on equity? Is 46.2%, which is quite decent, right? 46.2%. ROC 59.7%, right? And what is the P ratio? So this price is right now has come down. and compared to P ratio is at a good stage right now, right? So these are the things that I want to look. 32 times is book value. Okay, let me see what is the profit and loss over the last 10 years, right? What is the compounded sales growth? 24, 13, 11, 40. Profit growth 27, 16, 20, 45. Stock price CAGR 1697. Return on equity is pretty strong. Okay, good. The fundamentals of this stock are good. Okay, so that's, you want to analyze the stock in that way. Don't just we can't go on emotion, right? Especially long term. You're allocating your stock money for the long term. You can't allocate it on emotion. Okay, this chart is not. Okay, I don't think this chart is working properly here. Okay, let me see some other stock. Okay, so what I want to say is that this chart is not working properly here. So anyway, what I want to say is that even if you are taking, let's say 10 and 20 EMA, right? Look at it on a monthly time frame. If you want to look at it for long term, look at it on a monthly time frame. And when it comes to close to your support levels, that is the time for entry, even on a monthly time frame. Look at this crossover. This is the time for entry, even if it is a good stock. Like even if it is the most blue chip and the next multi bagger, whatever it is, your entry point and your risk reward ratio is crucial. It's your money. And even if I have a good stock, I will wait till I get the right price for it. And once I get the right price, then I can define a target and a stop loss. So for all the stocks that you mentioned, please go through screener.in. Please look at it whether the return on equity is, some stocks they are giving, like I think Zomato. What is the ROE of Zomato? The ROE of Zomato is minus 12.3%. Why you want to keep money in that stock? Keep money in FD, no? Why you want to keep money and for long term? Why do you want to keep money for long term? What is the profit and loss? 62% in last 3 years, minus 23% sales growth, minus 23%. No history on the stock price CAGR because it's a new stock, and the return on equity last 3 years is minus 63%. Last year is minus 12%. See, I would not put my money on this stock, right? So it's your choice ultimately. I don't know what logic, but if I think to include a stock in my long-term portfolio, I want a decent amount of return for the risk that I am taking. Equity market is risky, and if I am putting my money at risk, then I want more than FD. I want more than inflation. I want a risk premium. If I don't get the risk premium, what's the point? I can just put it in FD, right? So please check all your stocks in this way, and then you finally want to decide whether you want to keep it for long term, whether you want to keep it for swing trading, or whatever, right? Chart analysis. So yeah, we already did the chart analysis through the way. Yeah, so Tirthankar, just the way I showed you right now, you can check it in that way. Screener.in is a very good site for if you want to check the fundamentals of the stock, and then you look at the chart also on a monthly time frame, and look at the prices, right? Look at the prices. Where is it right now? Is it a good entry point or not? Is your risk reward ratio, is it good or not? Just check that, and then you finally decide what you want to do, right? Okay, that's it for today. So thank you very much for joining, and thank you for asking all those wonderful questions. It's a joy always sharing with you. These are my contact points. Please do reach out in case you need some help or anything, or just to connect. In any way I can help, I'm always fine. I'm happy, and yeah, if there are any more questions, I will address them. सर आप इंडिया में हो या बाहर है? मैं बिल्कुल इंडिया में हूँ सर, बिल्कुल इंडिया में ही हूँ. मैं कभी बाहर गया ही नहीं, मैं तो इंडिया में ही था हमेशा. Okay. Thank you once again, everybody. Yeah, 10, 20, and 50 is a good moving average. If you want to see even on a longer time, if you want to analyze the very long term, then you can use 100. Algo trading, Sachin, I did try algo trading, but it did not work out very good for me. So it depends, So some of the platforms which are giving, ready-made algos, uh, I really don't know how much, it works. And for me, the thing that I found out when I tried algo trading actually. So what I found out was, the execution was not up to the mark. So now then every time I have to look whether the execution is done or not. So if I have to look whether the execution is done or not, then what's the point of having an algo, right? So but there are people, and there are people who have their own customized algos and they are working fine, but it has not worked out for me. So so I have, for the time being, I have I'm not going to that to algo trading right now. Thank you, Hamza. Yes, for anybody who is not following the profile, you can follow my profile on Creator, so you will be notified when I'm coming live. Right. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you for making it so interesting, for asking all those questions and all the interaction. I love the interaction. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.